Oh, are we... Yeah, we're spelling things again. Okay. Rot. Pro team!
Now I understand.
Oh, that sounds...
The poison must have been poured into the protein can. If the protein's in the poison
I mean, I also like using fancy words just for the hell of it.
The reverse is true, right?
So I can't say much in that regard.
The contents of each container were switched. So the protein was in the bottle of poison, and the poison was in the protein can. Once you accept that, it becomes obvious how the culprit was able to get Sakura to drink the poison.
Holy crap!
All they had to do was hand her something there at the scene, and she was happy to drink the poison herself.
Was it a protein drink?
I got it! You're saying they gave her a protein drink, right?
Yeah, you did
A
it.
protein drink which actually contained a deadly poison.
What?
That's all it took to kill Sakura. That is the true cause of death.
You know, I do remember Ogre saying that protein stuff was good for all kinds of aches and pains.
Poison is not.
So
That will cause
maybe
more
she
aches
took
and
it to try and
pains.
help with the whole bleeding head wound thing.
But what was offered to her instead was a bottle full of poison.
Poisson?
And I already know exactly who swapped the mixtures.
For real? Who was it?
Evidence revealing
real?
who replaced the two materials was left in the chem lab for anyone to see.
Yeah, about that. It wasn't this, was it? No.
Shoot!
Well, I mean, at least he wasn't too harsh about it. Which is very much unlike him. Right. Once again, I need to look over all of my truth bullets before I present one.
Got it!
God!
The footprints left
Because
behind
that's what I
in
thought it
front
was
of the
talking
shelf.
about when it said source of the powder.
That's the evidence you're talking about, isn't it?
I visited the chem lab this morning, and there were definitely no footprints there at that point.
But was there powder?
They must have appeared around the time of the murder, which leaves no doubt that they're connected. What's more, the footprints were in front of Section A, where I found the bottle meant for the poison. The culprit must have gone to Section A to swap the poison and protein, leaving their footprints behind. And given how clear the prints were, figuring out who they belong to will pose no problem. All we have to do is check everyone's footprints right now. Then we'll see who...
Yes?
It was me. The footprints. They're mine.
Hina?
If you're all gonna find out anyway, I'd rather you hear it straight from me, you know?
Ogre's killer was...
Yep. I did it. I killed Sakura.
Just as I suspected. The footprints were made by a pair of sneakers. There was no mistaking it.
Why would she make such
And
clean
the only
footprints?
people here who wear sneakers are...
I got it!
Koto and Leon. Yep.
Me and Hina are the only ones. Oh, so Byakuya. That explains why you...
No. Okay, but like, why? Seriously, why would she
If
not
the
just
footprints didn't
like
belong to Makoto, that left only one other possibility.
sweep away the footprints?
Plus, Hina's been acting strange ever since the trial began.
It's true. She has been rushing it.
You were in an awful rush to get to the vote, weren't you? This whole time, you've been focused on pinning the crime on someone else, haven't you?
I can't believe it.
What about it can't you believe?
Well, it's just... the two of them were so close.
That's likely exactly why it turned out this way. Because they were so close, Sakura didn't think twice about it when Hina handed her the concoction. Hina used that trust to kill her.
Yay!
She deceived
Everyone's
the
a
victim,
sociopath.
And she tried to deceive all of us. I have to say, Hina, coming from you, this was a particularly nasty little scheme.
Is it true? Did you really... kill Sakura? And if you did, why? Why would you do that?
I found her. There in the rec room. She was hurt. She asked me to bring her that protein drink. But when I went to get the powder from the chem
A
lab,
new record!
occurred to me all of a sudden.
Now's my chance to kill her. That's what you thought, right?
No.
That's when you switched out the protein powder, and that's when you gave her the poisoned mixture.
And then she downed it all at once. And then
Hold it! I'm not convinced.
You're not about to
Hold
claim
it!
she wouldn't kill a close friend, are you? You still don't get it, do you? The game we're playing here isn't so kind.
You're talking to the wrong person here,
Funny
Byakuya.
words like friendship don't matter here. What matters is outwitting the opponent, defeating them.
Outwit,
Not a
outplay,
person
outlast.
alive would sacrifice themselves
Is
for
this
another.
Survivor?
In the end,
But with
we're
more
all
murder?
in it for ourselves. Just like how this girl sacrificed Sakura to save herself.
You say that, but I'm still not convinced.
How many times do you plan to repeat yourself?
I could say the
Don't
same thing about you.
misunderstand me. I'm not saying it because of some misguided sentimentalism. But there's still that one unsolved mystery, and I'm not convinced.
Are you talking about the locked room problem?
You know, the big
Hina.
mystery.
If you really are the killer, explain it. How did you create that locked room?
well,
With the chair.
that doesn't matter. Just because I'm guilty, that means I have to tell you everything?
No, it doesn't. But the fact that you won't tell us concerns me.
Surely you're not... Do you honestly think Hina didn't actually kill her?
And if I do?
Impossible. She switched out the mixtures. She's the culprit. There's no way you can doubt this.
It was you!
Are you sure about that? Even ignoring the fact that I don't want to believe it, it just doesn't fit.
What doesn't fit?
I mean, why would someone leave such a clear clue like a footprint? It's too obvious, too easy.
Exactly.
It makes it look like you wanted people to suspect you.
That was... I was just nervous. So, I didn't notice I'd left a footprint.
You didn't notice?
Yes, a footprint.
Yeah, that's just how it was. What can I do?
Listen, Hina. Could you go into a bit more detail?
No?
Tell us more about when you switched the poison and the protein.
How come? That doesn't matter.
Hina, please, I'd like to know too.
Fine.
Waste your time if you like. It's clear that Hina is the culprit. There's nobody else to suspect. Nobody else could have possibly done it.
Go ahead, Hina. Start from the moment you arrived at the chem lab.
Yeah,
Well,
this case will do that
right
to you,
away,
Air.
I went to Section C and got the poison.
And is that when you spilled the powder in front of that part of the shelf?
On purpose?
Yeah. When I opened the bottle, I dropped it like an idiot.
I see. Okay then, go on.
So you
Then I
grabbed
moved
a
to Section
different
A
bottle?
and got the protein powder, and that's where I switched them. Once I was done with that, I took the protein can that had the poison in it and left the room. But I accidentally put the bottle filled with protein powder back on the wrong shelf. And because of that, everything I did got found out. And that's it.
That story you just told. First, you went to Section C to get the poison, then moved to Section A to get the protein, right? Meaning you went
What's up,
from
Jay?
Section C to Section A. Do I have that correct?
Yeah.
That's a lot strange, yes.
Can you repeat that series of events one more time?
What's
wrong with you, Big Mac? You're being awfully pushy.
Big Mac.
It's the same thing no matter how many times you hear it. How long until you're satisfied?
You'll never be satisfied. You'll never be satisfied.
First, I went to Section C. That's when I grabbed the poison.
And you spilled some of the powder on the ground in front of the shelf.
Yeah. When I grabbed the bottle, I dropped it.
Okay, and then?
I moved from Section C to Section A. And that's where I switched the powders. Once I was done switching them, I put the bottle filled with the protein powder back in Section A. Then I took the bottle with the poison in it and left the chem lab. That's all there is to it.
Honestly, that's enough. How much longer must we tolerate this?
As long as it takes.
First, I went to Section... That's when I grabbed the... And you spilled some of the... Yeah. Okay. I moved from Section C.
Bye.
No, that's wrong. You said you went to get the poison from Section C, and that's where you spilled the powder, right?
Yeah? What about it?
And after that, you said you moved from Section C to Section A to get the protein. But the footprints left at the scene were not moving from Section C to Section A. That contradicts what you just said.
Objection!
Then maybe she moved in some weird direction on purpose to disguise her movements?
No, because then she would have just...
No, that can't be it. Remember what Hina just said?
If she was gonna go to all that trouble, she could have just... She could have just swept away the footprints, like I said.
What
But...
the? Hina, what's the meaning of this?
Well...
You lied to us. Plain and simple. If
Holy
you look
crap,
at the
people
footprints,
lie on the
your
stand?
movements in the chem lab are obvious.
In a court of law?
The powder had already been spilled when you came in, and you went straight to Section A. So you never went to Section C. Whatever you did there, it only involved Section A.
Well, you see...
What the?
What the?
What's going on here?
And the footprints aren't the only problem with her account.
What?
Before I explain that part, I'd like to submit some new evidence.
Is it an updated autopsy
Evidence?
report?
Impossible. There can't be.
Are you sure?
I really hope it's an updated
After
autopsy
all,
report.
You're the one that gave it to me.
I did.
It was hidden inside the bottle of poison you gave me. I'm amazed you, of all people, would miss such a vital clue. A truly grave oversight.
Just say it already. What is it you think you found?
I found this. It had sunk to the bottom of the
An
bottle.
updated autopsy report in the
And
bottle.
the hidden clue was exposed, thanks to you ingesting the powder. I couldn't have solved the mystery without you. So, thank you for that.
But, what is it?
Oh, it's glass.
Oh, you still don't realize? Well then. Makoto,
Jeez, what-
why don't you explain it?
No.
Me?
Fine. If you really do know, explain the
No,
meaning of
Akechi
that
isn't
shard of
that,
glass.
isn't that much of a douchebag. The glass is glass is glass is glass. It was the window.
I got it!
And we're
It's
finally back
part
up
of
to
the
full
window
health
from the rec
after
room door,
forgetting
right?
the controls in the first DDR portion.
Window?
I'm so happy with myself.
The window we broke to get in was light blue, just like that. So I think that must be it.
You're right. It must be. Of course, that leads to another question. How did a shard of glass from the window get inside this bottle of poison?
Magic!
What's so strange about that?
What's strange is that, according to what Hina told us,
The hair does kind of fit, I'll give you that. Should have been on in
got it!
section A.
the bottle of poison was left on the shelf in the chem lab. That is what you said, right, Hina? And yet, somehow a piece of glass from the rec room window made its way into the bottle.
Everything Hina told us was a lie?
In reality, that bottle of poison most definitely found its way to the rec room. It was there at least until the window got broken. In other words, when the locked room was unlocked.
That's impressive that, like, the shard
There's
of
no
glass
other way to explain
not
the
only got
presence of
into
that
the bottle,
glass
but,
in
like,
that bottle.
inside, like, amidst all
And
the
then,
powder.
once the room
And
was
somehow
opened,
didn't end up
the
in
bottle
Byakuya's
somehow
mouth.
got moved back to the shelf in the chem lab. Meanwhile, the protein can we found at the crime scene was planted there. That had to be after the locked room was opened. In other words, after Sakura died.
Wait, hold on. You're moving too fast.
Oh,
I'll
really?
grant you, the bottle of poison may well have been in the rec room when it was locked. But how can you say the protein can was put there after the room was unlocked?
Because it was on top
We
of some of the
already
shards
know
of
she was
glass.
given the protein can with the poison inside, right? If that can wasn't there when she died, how did she get poisoned?
You're right. We do need to explain that. But
She got
before we
poisoned with
do,
poison.
There's something I'd like to confirm with everyone here.
People have died chugging dry protein with
It
that
has
glass.
to do with the
I
protein
mean, it wasn't a
can.
very big bottle, so...
After Sakura's body was discovered, did anyone move it or trip over it or anything like that?
What are you talking about? Is this some kind of loaded question?
You're a loaded question.
Not at all. Just answer to the best of your ability.
Well, no, not that I remember.
Yeah, me either.
Not me.
Same here. Yeah, me either.
Okay then, that settles it. That proves that the protein can found its way to the murder scene after the room was opened.
Oh, come on! How can you say that? How can you know what I don't know?
Because she's smart. She investigates things. She's not a douchebag. Yeah, there sure is. Oh, I thought we were about to have a third DDR segment.
When it comes to that protein can, there's not a doubt in my mind. Until the locked room was unlocked, it absolutely was not in there.
True.
So
True
you're
that.
saying someone planted it there after we got the door open?
No. No, that's impossible. It had to have been in there the whole time. It had to be. It was in there.
No, that's wrong.
That is the proper way to make Byakuya shut up, ladies and
You
gentlemen.
remember how there was broken glass scattered all around the room, right?
Of course. It came from the window you broke to get in. What about it?
Well, those pieces weren't just scattered around the protein can. We also found pieces underneath the can.
What?
And this proves it. It shows that the can must have been put down on the floor.
I forgot how great that face was.
So it had to be after we got into the room.
Yeah.
I see. So that's your explanation. Kyoko, earlier when you asked if anyone had moved the can or tripped over it,
If that were the case, that would explain the can being on top of the glass.
So you asked everyone about it to eliminate that possibility right out of the gate.
And that's made everything clear, hasn't it?
It's
As
all
long as
coming
it was a
together.
locked room, it only contained the bottle of
Ish.
poison.
It's all
and
coming
not
together
the
ish.
protein can. But once the room was opened up, they were switched, and as a result, the protein can wound up in the rec room, and the bottle of poison returned to the chem lab.
if that's all true, then why did Sakura drink the poison? I thought we all agreed she was tricked into drinking it because of the protein can.
No, that's not why. The only explanation is she drank it from its original bottle, knowing exactly what it was.
Precisely. She was alone in a locked room. All she had was the poison. What other possibility is there?
You're saying she drank it knowing what it was? Such a ridiculous fiction is...
Exactly what happened.
Then tell us already. Sorry. Please, tell us.
Before we get to that,
I
we need to
didn't realize
clarify
that
one
was
other
a word
thing.
that was in your vocabulary.
We need to establish who exactly got the poison from the chem lab and took it to the rec room.
It was Hina, right? She took it and gave it to Ogre.
What do you think, Makoto?
I got it! I think it was Sakura herself.
Huh? So Sakura, who was apparently murdered, just poisoned herself? What are you talking about? There's no way!
On the contrary, we know for a fact she went to the chem lab, right to the section full of poisons.
You're lying!